Hi, hello. We're back.
We're back for more sultanas. Okay, today we are going to be looking at some misprints and what that can mean
Yes.
from a collectible
From a collectible point of view.
Right? What that
Because
might
actually
mean.
there is some misprints in the Rider-Waite. I mean, that's what we're going to talk about. But I was just thinking when you said misprints, I thought, is it the three of wands when he's overlooking the cliff and it's all yellow when it should be blue?
Oh, yeah. All these ships coming home,
Yeah,
right? And
coming across the desert.
coming across the desert, right? It's been that barren land.
Yeah.
And something, oh,
So
right.
it should be blue, shouldn't it? It's also on the judgment card too, isn't it? Where they're rising up out of the coffins, but it's all blue. It's like they're floating on the water. We should probably pull those cards out and look at them.
See, I've just thought they're in the sea, rising up. Never questioned it.
I just thought, oh, I probably should find them. I probably should have been more prepared when we were going to do that. I was just thinking about it when we were looking at them. Yeah, let's talk amongst ourselves while I find this.
Amongst ourselves while she finds these cards. All right, and let us know what you think.
Yeah.
So it was interesting because in 1971, that is when US Game Systems bought the right to publish the tarot under its current name, Rider-Waite Tarot. And they did that because they went and saw Waite's daughter and she sold it to them. Yeah,
really?
Yeah, that's how that came about. And her name was Ms. Sybil Waite.
I did not know that.
Little bit of tidbit, full of interesting news. I am.
Wouldn't
hurt it. See, I would say they're in the fucking sea.
Yeah.
Like
I always think, you don't have coffins in the sea.
In the judgment. Well, see, I've never questioned that. I've just always say in the sea. Like I never thought to question that. And here I have thought to question whether this should be in the sea.
In the sea.
Fucking hands don't work. In the sea or not. But yeah, it's in the desert, you're right, the barren land, right? Because everything's barren.
Yeah, because I often think, well, you've got the trees behind them, so you wouldn't go floating coffins, would you?
Oh, you wouldn't think so. There'd be
so,
like, it's an emotional time,
suppose,
like all of
you
could rationalize the meanings away and the symbology in it because they're all like that.
Yeah.
So it makes sense.
Yeah.
But
it just doesn't. It doesn't. I've always thought, well, that just doesn't look right.
Yeah.
Look right. And the way they're all just rising up, but yeah, I think it should be green, but anyway.
It should be green, but anyway, okay. Well, we're going to be talking about misprints and how that can be a collectible item and on what that is and a couple of things that I've seen on social media lately. But first things first, Tren.
You better get the card going.
Get the cards. I'll have a go.
Do you have a go?
See how my little hands go.
See what healing has been happening.
Yeah, no, the fucking lot, I can tell you. That's hurting like a motherfucker.
Oh, no.
So I'll do it this way. I can't believe I'm resorted to this. Mate, wait a minute. Maybe I could try right-handed. Let me try right-handed.
Yeah.
Don't laugh at me, folks. I'm trying to learn to shuffle right-handed because my left hand is pretty sore, making me rethink about a few things and how I'm going to be doing things. So that's all good. All right.
That's the one.
And it is the 5 of Cups.
That's a bit of an interesting card for today.
Isn't it? What would you say about that for today?
For today, it's interesting. I'm just looking at that. I'm actually focusing on the 3 cups going up here. Those 3, those sort of, and it's either whether they've spun out or they're coming in to this little hole. But now I'm looking at it and going, well, how is that relating to us? But so it could be actually because we're going to be talking about 3 cards.
Oh, we are. We are going to be talking about 3 particular cards. Yes. And interesting because on that, what we're looking at for those of you who are listening is we're looking at the
Lightseers deck.
What the fuck are we looking at? The Lightseers deck and the 5 of Cups. When I look at that, I see that there's a cup that's near one of her feet, and it's like she's tipping.
Tipped whatever out.
That in. I actually think she's nourishing that hole.
Actually, because the energy is going out, but then it's coming back into. I read it this way: she's tipping out maybe what is not needed and taking back what is.
Oh, okay. I can see how you've done that when you follow the yellow.
Yes.
Right? You follow the yellow.
it's like her foot is tipping out the fluid or whatever out of that cup, but then the energy is coming back into her. So I would say getting rid of what she doesn't need and pulling back into her, or grounding what she does.
Is that like an egg in the bottom of that? What is that?
It could be an egg. I sort of took it as a, a bright light.
Bright light,
Yeah, like
so
the
something
energy.
growing
Yeah.
and nurturing in that hole
Yeah.
is how I see that. So, and interesting because
Yeah.
when we talk about this, it's time that actually makes this stuff happen
Yes.
and adds
Yeah.
value to it. So, and what I would say is looking at that couple, looking at that card also is, some of you, this episode may not be something that you want to hear about. It may be interesting, it may be whatever. It's a bit like that, according to the card.
According to the card.
Let's do a clarifying card,
Yeah,
shall we?
okay, yeah. Oh my goodness me, we've got the magician.
The magician. So if we put those two together, to me, that looks like going back to what she's putting in that hole is going to give
actually,
more energy to
look at
create
this.
something.
They both have it.
Yeah, fuck.
They both have it.
How can you fucking make
And
that
if you
shit
look
up?
at that, look at the size of the 5 of Cups little white light compared to the magician's white light. It's expanding. So whatever we are doing and learning, it's expanding our knowledge.
Yeah.
It's expanding our knowledge. So, and again, we could just be getting rid of old myths, old
myths,
opinions,
old opinions. That is
and
a good way to look at it.
creating our own, but also very much expanding our knowledge.
Yeah, and a knowledge that we're sharing because we just love to do it.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
We do it because we love to do
Yeah.
it. So interesting. So shall we start?
Yes, we shall.
We shall start. Okay, long introduction then. So there is this thing, and I know I've spoken about it before, called the blushing fool.
Yes.
Right? Now, the blushing fool comes from, basically, there's 2 sizes in this beautiful little blue box that I happen to have, this was my nan's deck.
Yeah, so just how old do you think that is? When do you think your nan bought it?
She bought that, I'll tell you, sometime after 1975.
Oh my gosh, what's that?
Right?
What's that? It's nearly 40 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, because this edition was printed in 75, right? But the story behind the blushing fool, because there's a bigger deck, because this is the traveler's deck, there's a bigger deck, and the Rider-Waite deck that was printed in 1972, right? There's a blue box just like that, had a printing error. And the printing error shows itself on the fool's face because it looks like it's red. So they call him the blushing fool. Now, not everyone had this, right? The first edition of these, both this size, the traveler's deck, thank you, and the regular deck was printed in 1910. That's its first run.
The original ones, okay.
First run. The second run was in 1972, and then again for this one in 75, right? So first edition 1910. Now, what's cool about this and how I know it's the real deal and it's the thing is all the other little things on it. So it says that see, we got Rider and Company, London, printed on that box there. So Rider, when we say like Rider-Waite Smith, Rider is the publishing house. So I know this is a legitimate Rider. One of the original decks, right? And so Rider-Waite is the
author, isn't he?
The author, and Smith
is the
artist.
Of
course, is the artist, right?
We have to give her a lot of credit.
Yeah, because that bitch, she never got that later. But then she was like commissioned, you could say. So she was given a lump sum of money to create this, and so she was paid for that, and then she went off, as opposed to receiving the royalties from
constantly,
right? That's kind of what happened there.
Yeah.
Is my understanding of it. So any deck, and I'm just going to look for it, there is absolutely no mention of copyright.
Oh, now that's interesting.
Which is even better, right? Because remember, interesting, in 71, the US Games bought the rights, right? And yet this deck doesn't say it. Makes it quite unique.
Ooh.
And when you pull it out and you have a look at the fool, And I'll pull him out and show you, and we'll take
Yeah,
photos of
definitely
him,
take photos. We'll do a close-up of him.
of his face. See, like there's these little etching
Little red dots.
red dots, right? That makes him the blushing fool. And we'll take a close-up photo
Yes,
of
we
it so
will.
you can see that. The other thing that also tells us that these cards are of that right time is because they're of a matte finish.
Mm.
The cards today have like this glossy or plasticized.
Yeah, it feels different. It feels very plastic when you can sort of hear it.
Yeah. And this is, run your nails on that. See,
it's not as noisy.
Sounds even different, right? So that's what that difference is, but that is definitely the blushing fool, and he's really little on this because he's the traveler's deck, and it'll be interesting to see how much that is actually worth, because a standard sized blushing fool,
probably this size.
Yeah, that size. So that size blushing fool, you can at the moment, I believe, without the copyright, right? Because there's no copyright. If it has copyright after that, it'll be worth less. But without the copyright, it's about $300 a box, Australian dollar.
Wow.
Yeah, I did see it somewhere. It was like, I don't know, 800 something. It's some other place.
Yeah.
I think Canada had it
okay.
up fairly high as well, but basically 300 Australian dollar.
So that's for that size.
That's for that size.
I
So
wonder
I don't
what that
know.
size would be.
I don't know.
I think that might be rarer because of the size.
Maybe. But here's what I've learned in doing all of this research about this stuff, because I'm really lucky to have this thanks to my Nan. Nan never kept a little book.
Oh.
Damn it. And the little book, all of the prints are numbered.
Oh.
Just like anything else, it all has a number to it. But Nan didn't keep the little book, which is a real shame. Otherwise, that would have been. Yeah, so it's lost some value because of that. But what I've learned is, whatever cards you buy, keep the box and keep the book.
Yes.
Because you just never know, because they wouldn't have known that was a printing error.
Exactly.
And the only reason that it became valuable later, of course, is because they've reprinted it.
Yeah.
And then gone, okay, well, that's a printing error, that's this, right?
Yeah.
So that moves us on to the next card, which I had not even known was a fucking thing.
Yeah.
I was looking up some tarot social media thing, and there was this post about something called the Sunburned Magician. Like, what the fuck is a sunburned magician? Like, what are they talking about? Because I'm thinking straight away, the face of the magician and the card itself. No. So this was something that came about in the 1970s, and I believe it was about the 8th or 9th print run of the yellow boxed.
Oh, so the ones with the box we know today.
The box we know today, the Rider-Waite with the magician on the front, right? And the printing error of that. So my understanding of this is, and this will collect between $80 and $150.
Still expensive, still a lot of money, isn't
it? Yeah. Well, it's not as old, right? It's
that.
It's that, right? And it's not from the original because,
Yeah.
So anyway, what I learned about it was some of the early boxed yellow US games. So in this sense here, the 8th or the 9th print run of the deck have a reddish face on the magician on the box.
On the box, not on the card
Not
itself.
on the card itself.
On the box.
It's on the box, right? So we don't get caught up in that. So you must have the box for this one.
Yes.
Right? So he's called the Sunburned Magician.
Isn't that fascinating?
Sunburned Magician. Now, the funny thing is, we're not sure how many printings occurred, but the fellow that I was liaising with about this believed there was only about 15.
Oh my goodness. So if you find it's really rare.
So it's almost like they've done a run and gone, oh, fuck, error, stop.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, funny, hey. But it's the box only, not the card itself.
So keep your boxes,
still keep your cards and your boxes and your books, right? But that's interesting.
Because we never know.
You never know. You just never know. So, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Who'd have fucking thought, right? Anyway, back to social media, and I'm going through all things. And there's this fella talking about the crying moon, and his name is Chris Walsh. And he has, for the last 3 years, been doing what he calls crafting an alternative to the Rider-Waite, but it's using exactly the same images. So it's almost like he's just duplicating.
Oh, okay.
That's my understanding. I could have that wrong, Chris. My apologies if I do. But anyway, that's what he's doing. And he discovered a printing error on his deck.
Oh, okay.
And what it is on the moon. And it's like a black line that is underneath
one of the moon's eyes.
Right? And his question was, should I, because now he's discovered it, should I stop that or should I just let it go anyway?
Oh, no, I'm going to look for the moon.
And I think if he lets it go, right, he runs with it, he can just have like a small amount of print,
he doesn't
and then later reprint it, because it's when you reprint that it turns that misprint into value, right? So really, really fascinating. So just look at the moon.
I'm just going to find the moon because I'm thinking, I think it's only got one eye, doesn't it? I'm trying to think now.
I think we only see one eye, but yeah, we'll get it and we'll just have a look. So really, there it is. You passed it. There it is.
Yeah, so it is. It's only, so we think there will be a black
line under there, and he's called it the crying moon, which I find. Watch this space. So I would be like, you collectors out there, the fellow's name is Chris Walsh.
Yeah, so look out for that.
Look out for the deck. He's just called it a traditional tarot deck, I think. I'll have to get that. But yeah, keep the boxes and the booklets. Because it means something, and copyright did not come in until after it was bought in 71, but it didn't come in until after 75, right? And if you've got a deck that is matte finished, really, really check the boxes and stuff for that, because that matte finish changed. They went to the plasticized one about 1985. So if you've got a matte finish, chances are you might also have a pre-copyright deck. So check it out is what I would say, because oddly enough, it's worth
money,
a little something, which I would never ever.
Well, you wouldn't sell it that too, because that's your nan's.
Well, I would never sell this. No,
that's going to go down.
Pass it down the line. Yeah, pass it down the line. Like, you wonder. And my nan didn't keep the little book, and she didn't understand Roman numerals because she fucking drew all over the cards. So that's something else. God love you, Nan. However, interesting, right? And I love that it's landed in my hands.
Exactly.
I love that it's landed in my hands, because I'll pass that down. Now, the other thing that I wanted to say about these kind of misprint things, for those of you who have purchased my book, on the spine of the book, the writing's really, really little. Now, that again is a misprint, because it wasn't supposed to be that way. So when I reprint,
you're going to, wow.
Yeah, and I didn't change it deliberately because I thought of the black and cool. So
hold on to it.
Yeah, hold on. I didn't realize until after I printed it, and then I thought, no, I'll keep them, I'll still sell them. And then I was in a hurry. I wanted to get it done, and then I thought, actually, that blushing cool's kind of, so you never know, right? You never know. So hold on to that if you've been lucky enough to grab one of the first edition prints of that. Even better if it's signed, right?
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Even better if it's signed. So the moral of the story is check the dates, check for copyright, check where they were printed, because I believe some of these, like mine's been printed in London, because it's when the writer publishing house was in London. But some of these blue boxes and the little books that come with it talk about it being printed in Switzerland.
Oh, wow. Oh, okay. So that's again, that's different
again, right? So different values. So keep your boxes, keep the little books, don't write on your cards, keep them in as good as condition as you can, and you just never know.
And you're just saying that, like, I know, because we this is my working deck, but there will come a time when I will put this away and get another one. Well, I'm tempted to pull out, now you've said that, pull out my original deck, because that would be it's over 30 years old. So easy. I had that before my kids had it before I was married. Like, so it's a really old deck. So I'm tempted to pull it out and see if it's a matte finish. Yes.
And
yes, because I'm thinking I've got when I first moved to Brisbane, I bought a little, I wish it was, but it's not. But it's that size. And again, I didn't keep the box because I didn't know any different. Threw the bottom of the book away as well. So I just keep them wrapped up.
Yeah, I didn't know any different either.
Now I'm just thinking I've got to pull them out and just have a feel of them.
Because that was,
when did I move to Brisbane? 80, 85, 86. So
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah, so it might be worth like having a look at these things, Tran, and see what we've
Yeah.
actually got. Like starting to get like this real little collection.
Exactly.
And the other thing that I had come across when I was looking at all of this stuff was Pam. It's called Pam A deck, I think it is. There was 4 decks, I believe, that were printed, A, B, C, and D, but that doesn't mean they were printed as A first, B second,
Oh,
C.
okay.
It doesn't mean that.
Yeah.
It's just that's what
That's
they
how it
happen to
came.
label them, whatever fucking reason, I don't know. But on the back of it, right? So on the back of this card is that print, and on the back of this one is this print. But it's the back of the cards that also give you this information, right? So on the Pam A decks, or just Pam,
Yeah.
I think it's just called Pam A.
Yeah.
She called that roses and lilies, or lilies and roses.
Okay.
And
Yes. I think I've seen something like
oh,
that.
you want to grab those ones because they're a little bit
Yeah.
rare too.
Yeah.
So they're blue on the back with these white
White
roses and
leaves,
these white
yeah.
lilies on them, right? I wish I
Yeah.
had something to show you,
Yeah.
but I know someone who's got a deck, and I'm going to be calling him, asking about his deck. Yeah. So I think asking about his deck,
His deck,
D-E-C-K,
it's his deck.
D-E-C-K, his deck, right? Anyway, a couple of that went through my mind. Anyway, yeah, so there's that. And then there's another backing where it looks like it's cracked earth.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
you know, where
Oh,
the
okay.
earth is
Yeah,
dry.
yeah.
That's worth a different
Ooh,
value again. So
my
it all,
goodness.
yeah, all these things that mean so much. So
Mm,
investigate your cards a little more
yes.
as you purchase them, because they
Really
may
look.
not sort of mean like much to you at the time. Like it didn't, I'm sure my nan didn't think much. She just
Exactly.
wanted a little deck and went and got what was available.
Yeah.
And you know, like you've replaced your Rider Waite,
Yes.
I've replaced mine twice now.
Yeah.
So, and yet I've still kept the
Always
cards.
keep
Yeah.
them. Yeah.
So interesting to see what that might be, because I'm
Mm.
sure my original deck is non-matte. Is non-plastic. I mean, it's
Non-plastic.
matte. I'm really
Because it
sure
feels
it's matte.
different.
Yeah, it feels different. But anyway, interesting and
Yeah.
something to go and have a look at. So there you go.
Oh,
Keep your
yes.
boxes, pay attention, look at the back, learn all you can, investigate, because you never fucking know.
You never
might
know.
have
And
a little
don't throw
guy.
anything out.
Yeah, don't throw it out. And don't write on it.
Don't give them away.
Yeah, don't give them away either. Yeah. So there you go. I hope you have found this just a little
It's just
interesting and a little different.
Yeah, it's just like nothing's ever perfect, as we've found out with the colouring.
Yeah, nothing's
all the
ever
colouring,
perfect.
yeah.
Yeah. So there you go.
and when it's not perfect, it could be
something down the
valuable.
track.
So yes.
There you go. Well, we hope you've enjoyed that little tidbit of information.
Something a bit different for you today.
Have an amazing afternoon,
Right.
day, night, whatever.
However, whenever you're listening to it.
Yeah.
Or watching.
Like, subscribe, share. If you're enjoying our content, please help us get out there.
Exactly. And ask questions. Give us subjects. You know, if you're interested in something, let us know and we can research it and
absolutely
and have your own episode.
You could have your own episode, just like Mitch did not so long ago.
Exactly.
And on that, we will catch you soon.
All right.
Big
See you later.
love. Bye.